Well, hello, and welcome to another lesson of the Focus on DatoCMS course. I am Marcelo Loon, the Headless Creator. As always, there's my email. Get a hold of me, marcelo@headlesscreator.com. Send me an email with questions, comments, ideas, whatever you have. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Today, my special guest presenter is back for a second lesson of many more, hopefully to come in the future, Rodrigo Barona. He's an engineer and design lead at Wonderman Thompson, and he's going to show us how to create a localized blog using Next.JS and DatoCMS. But you guys know how this works. Before we get started, I'm going to tell you real quick about headlesscreator.com. Just go get your free account. It's 100% free. You'll have access to a bunch of courses. This lesson will be available on demand in about an hour after we're done. So you'll have access to that. And you'll have access to the entire DatoCMS course, as you can see here, with tons of lessons that we have already on demand, plus many more coming up. Also, you'll have access to a bunch of other courses like the Content Modeling Weekly. Everybody knows I'm a content modeling geek, so I love to do that. So go ahead and get that. You'll have Discover Headless Tech, a bunch of other focus on courses coming online, many more. Personalization Bootcamp, that's launching tomorrow, first lesson, so go check that out as well. Plus, I have another bootcamp coming out pretty soon on uniform. So lots of stuff. Get your free account, headlesscreator.com. I'm trying to end the year with 1,400 learners. I'm very, very close. I think I'm 20 away, so help me out. Go get your account there. All right, that's it. No more marketing, I promise you. So I'm going to go ahead and restart. You know how this works. I'm going to restart the intro so that way the on-demand version has absolutely no marketing, and we'll get started in just a second. So I will see you in 10 seconds. Well, hello, and welcome to another lesson of the Focus on DatoCMS course. I am Marcelo Lewin, the Headless Creator. As always, get a hold of me right there, marcelo@headlesscreator.com. Send me questions, comments, ideas, whatever you like. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Today, my special guest presenter is back actually for a second lesson. He is Rodrigo Barona. He's an engineering and design lead at Wonderman Thompson, and he's going to show us today how to use DatoCMS and Next.js to create a localized blog. So I'm not going to tell you anything else about him because I'm actually going to go ahead and bring him in. Rodrigo, welcome.
Hi, how is it going?
Great.
Nice
How are you?
Yeah, really fine. Really great. I have a good week near holidays, and it's going well.
I know, it's unbelievable near the hot. Now you're back here for a second one. You did another lesson for us before.
Yeah, it was a pleasure, and really love to share the knowledge that we are working on in the agency with all of you guys.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, and you can check it out on the Focus on DatoCMS. Now I'm going to give everybody a warning. First of all, Rodrigo's having a little bit of some issues with the internet over there. Where are you located, Rodrigo?
Yeah, I'm located in Lisbon, in Portugal, and normally we have a great internet, but right now it's not going.
It's the internet gods, man. It happens to us too. I mean, yesterday I had issues, so it happens all over the world. So if he freezes, don't worry about it. The screen still goes, his audio, you'll still be able to hear him, but just keep that in mind that there's a little bit of an internet issue. Anyway, so today you're going to go into Next.js, DatoCMS, and we're going to create a localized blog. But before we get started, I mean, people already learned some about you from the previous, so I'm not going to ask you all your technical background again, since we already know. But everybody knows I'm a huge movie fan. What's your favorite movie? I got to know. I don't know what your favorite movie is.
I have one of a bunch of them, but I think one of my first fan movies I like is The Goonies. Do you remember The Goonies?
Of course, from the 80s, yes. I mean, you're looking at an 80s guy right here, man.
I really love this film. I watched it a lot of times, and I think it was the first scary movie for kids, and I really like it, and I have to put it for my kids again.
I love it. Yeah, you got to introduce your kids to it. Okay, so you said you have many favorite movies. That was one of them. Give me one more, and then we'll jump into the lesson here, because people don't come here for movies, but I got to know. What's another one you like?
Now I have the name in Spanish. It's El Último Mohicano. you know,
El último what?
Mohicano.
No.
I know what is the name in English. Sorry about that.
Is it a U.S.
Yeah,
film or is
yeah,
it
yeah, it's
a?
a usual film. Yeah. Sorry about that. I don't
That's
know, but
okay.
I watch lots of times. It's about wow, I forget the name. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I
No
don't try
worries
to
about
remember.
it.
Yeah,
We'll research it. Now you're originally from Spain, right? If I'm not
yeah,
mistaken. Yep.
yeah. I'm from Spain and living in Lisbon, Portugal for the last 12 years.
Got it. Great. Okay, so I'm going to end this and we're going to jump in with I watched two shows on Netflix which I loved. One of them is a film called Dos, which I
Yeah.
highly recommend from Spain.
Okay.
The other one is a show called Jaguar,
I
which
don't
is
know.
a really great one. They're both from Spain, all Spanish actors, Spanish production. I highly
Okay,
recommend it.
I have to check.
Put it on
I
your
have,
list.
yeah, I have 3 kids, and it's
Oh,
not
no,
easy
no,
to
no,
have
they're not for
time.
kids.
No,
These,
only
oh,
to have time to see
oh,
to
yeah,
see
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
movie.
These are not kid movies.
No, really.
Alrighty. All right, Rodrigo, we see your screen. Everybody, if you have questions, put them in the comments chat area. I will ask Rodrigo. Rodrigo, I will jump in with some questions.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, everybody, like I said, he's having a little bit of an issue with internet, so his video may freeze once in a while, but the screen share and the audio seems to be working fine. Rodrigo, it's all yours.
Okay, it's a pleasure to share it. Okay, we are talking today in a blog like example for multilingual content. For us in Europe is really important because we have a bunch of languages like this example. We have English, Italian, Portuguese, Spanish, French, whatever. Okay, yeah, we never make a website for only one language. Normally we make it for Portuguese and English, or Portuguese, Spanish, English, French, whatever. Okay, then having the opportunity to translate in the same content in different languages is really important. In today's example, we are working with 4 main languages, and then okay, we have a normal blog. We have a hero post with some title, category, and a description, and then we have a bunch of other posts, different areas, or so on. And then if we visit, we can change languages. For example, Italian, then we have the content in Italian, or Portuguese, and then we have all the content in Portuguese, and the same for Spanish. And if we visit one of the posts, we have the content in Spanish, the categories, the date, and all the content, and so on. Okay, this is basically the goal for today, to see what is going on, how is working, and so on. Then if we move to the DatoCMS part, okay, the DatoCMS is structured in categories, are the categories of the post. Then we have authors, that are the people that is writing the post. Then you have the post itself, that is the content, and some pages for secondary information like about us or contact us. Okay. One of the things that we have in Data is we can define different languages for every field. Then, for example, here in DataCMS, we've defined the 4 languages. We can add more if you want in the settings area. We can define all the languages we needed in the settings. Here we can add more languages, Chinese, Russian, whatever. Okay, you have a lot of them, and you have all the variations. For example, Spanish from Mexico, from Argentina, whatever. You can add specific languages. Okay, Argentina, whatever.
And as you're showing that, I just want to remind folks that we have an entire lesson on how to enable localization, which you're not going to go into all the details
Yeah, of
here.
course.
But there's an entire lesson that covers about 30 minutes of worth of content that it's called enabling and localizing content in DatoCMS. So look it up in the Focus on DatoCMS course.
Yeah, perfect. It's exactly that. I know that you have the course, and I only want to explain what's going on. Coming back to the categories, in every content type, we can create and define different fields. and every field we can define if it's multilingual or not. In this case, the name of the category is multilingual. We translate it for every language. And the description is multilingual too. Okay. Then we have the authors. And the authors basically are name, picture, and biography. For that case, normally the name you don't translate it because is a proper name for every languages, and the image is the same. But the biography you can make it multilingual. Okay. In this case, the locales are not mandatory. Then the people can add more languages, more locales if they need it. If they're not, we have the English default and the Spanish version in this example. And the end and the most important part are the posts. The posts, we have a bunch of them, and then we create the content modeling based on title for the article. Then we link it to the author. The title is multilingual, okay, and the content is multilingual too. And then we have image to represent the post and a little text for excerpt, and the excerpt is again multilingual. And then this post is related to a specific category that we saw here in categories. We have Discover, for example, and Discover is multilingual, Discover in every language. And then a date and a slug. For SEO reasons, normally we make the slug multilingual too. Then Italian has their own slug, Portuguese, and Spanish. Okay. And basically, this is the main structure. For this example, we are assuming that this author make all the translations. Okay. But if you want to say, okay, I have a bunch of different authors, and every author is for every language, you can make this author multilingual too, and then choose in every language a specific author. Okay.
And you brought up a good point there, because real quick on that, you may want to say when you're setting up your localization, like for example, author, you may say, look, we're going to have an author for each locale. So that means you don't really need to have the bio translated, because if you're going to have an author for, let's say, Spanish,
Yes.
then that'll be already, it'll be a separate author that has in Spanish. So it really depends on, when you're looking at your content model, where do you want to localize it, and do you want to just translate, or do you want to have different authors, right? And you localize it in different fields depending on that.
Exactly. I have a project that is like exactly way that I have some authors in English version. They have the bio only in English, and then when we move to Spanish, they have another authors from Spain with the bio and so on.
And that's just in Spanish, right? Exactly.
Yeah. And there are two different walls. There are two different separate areas.
Yep. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, but that is the idea. The idea is one of the main things that I like a lot in DatoCMS is the option to choose in every field if you want to be translated or not. And then when you define it here in the content type, you come here and say, okay, for the author, I want to be localized or not. Okay, and then you make it localized, this field will be different for every language. Now we can do that, no problem with